Hello everyone. In our last video we looked at the display property in CSS, and I said that in this video we'll be looking at the position property. But before we move over to the position property, I want us to look at the borders property more. We've been using it for the CSS text layouts I've been writing, and let's understand how these work and the different ways we can style these borders. Now if you go back into your code editor, you'll see that this is the line that I've been using. So we first of all specify the border, then 1 pixel, which is the border width, which is what determines how thick this border is. So we set it to 1 pixel, then solid red. So solid is the style of the border, while red is the color. So if you change this to any other color, you see that the color of our border also changes. As simple as that. So let's also look at the border width. If we increase this to, let's say, something like 10 pixels, you see that our border width also increases. Now what I want us to look at is these border styles. Now in CSS we have different border styles, but we'll be looking at a few of them. So we have the solid, which is what we've been using all this while. Then we have the dashed. So you save this. Now let's see the result that will give. As you can see, okay, let's make this border a bit thicker so we can see what we are actually doing. Now you can see the border just basically has dashes in between it. So that's what the border style of dashed will give you. Then the whole list of them here, we have the border style of dotted. So let's check out dotted, and that's how dotted looks. Then we have double, and that's the border style for double. Then let's check out those others. So I have groove, and you can check out other border styles and you can just play around with it and see the results you can get. So this is how groove looks. Then we have the ridge. So let's see ridge. And basically just like an opposite of groove. So that will be all the border styles I'll be looking at today. Now let's look at how we can other properties that we can also use for border. So this is just like the shorthand way of creating a border, but we also have specific properties like the border width. So we can set border width to 2 pixels, then border color blue, and border style solid. But ideally you just want to write all this into the shorthand property. So let's go back and refresh, and you'll see that all that has given us this basic border that we have here. But if you notice, there are different ways, there are different properties that you can use. Just like we have all this, we have border top width, right width, left width, bottom width. So you can give your border different thickness at the different sides. So let's just create something simple here. So let's do border top width. We can give this 3 pixels, border right width. You can give this any dimensions you feel is okay for you. Well, border bottom width, then this can be 5 pixels and so on for left 6. So let's save this and see our results. As you can see, we get different thickness at each of the different sides. So we also have something called the border radius property, and this is what you can use to make your website look more visually appealing, because most of the times you may not want your images or sections with borders to just be sharp ended. You want it to have just like a soft rounded corner. So you can achieve that using the border radius property. And let's just revert this to, you can just use border width, or let's just change all this back to our shorthand property for much cleaner code. So we can have border 5 pixels solid. Okay, let's just use red. Then don't forget to add your semicolons. Then for border radius, we can set something small and you can use 10 pixels. So just remember, the higher it is, the more rounded the corners will be, and the lower it is, the less rounded. So now after you save your file, go back and refresh. Now you can see that we have borders that are nicely rounded at the edges here, which just gives it a much better looking user interface. So that's what you can do with the border radius. But just like many CSS properties, we have different variations of this. So we have the border top, we have the border top left radius. So this can be something different, like let's say 10 pixels. We have the border top right radius, you can set this to 20 pixels. Then border bottom left radius, let's also set this to 20 pixels. And the border bottom right radius can be set to 30 pixels. Let's just keep this incremental, so 10, 20, 30, 40. And now let's refresh, and you see that each corner will have a different border radius, and you can just use this to create cool looking designs. So that's it for the border radius. For now, let's just keep this at a minimal looking 10 pixels all around. So yeah, that will be it for CSS borders, and you can just play around with this and get to know more about it, and the more things you can do with it, because this is one of the things that can help you build some nice looking modern websites. And just check out, I recommend you to check out other properties you can find, either you go on the web or you just keep browsing your VS Code suggestions and just play around with it and see what you can create. And I'll see you in the next video, where we'll be talking about how we can position elements on our web page. So see you there, and bye for now.